What's up, YouTubers? Thank you for tuning back into Signal Trek today. My name is Johnny, and my amateur radio call sign is Whiskey 5 Kilo Victor. Well, I just wanted to share my progress or completion of my solar mesh node with you all. This thing ended up being absolutely huge, as you can tell. A lot bigger than most of the mesh nodes that y'all see out there. I really wanted to make it a little bit bigger because one, I wanted to be able to like swap stuff in and out of it, and two, I'm using something else in this box in addition to my mesh node, and we'll get to that here in just a bit. So going over the enclosure, it's a really big one. It's like 11 inches tall, about 7 inches wide, and about 5 inches in depth. And then we've got ourselves a 5-watt solar panel here with a really long cable that I didn't modify or anything. I kind of want to. I think I might snip it and actually make it shorter, but I just kind of zip tied it up in there. And this is the LoRa antenna here, 5.8 dBi. I really like these fiberglass ones, like over the Alpha 915. I think they're really slick looking, and they do a little bit better in harsh weather. And then we've got it mounted to a thick piece of plywood back here, and that's going to allow me to mount it onto a satellite J-pole that I have up on top of my roof. Here in just a minute we'll go up there and we'll mount it, get this thing all bolted up, and I'll show y'all the permanent environment that it's going to be in here in just a second. Alright, let's open this thing up. And what we've got here, we've got a Heltec V4, the version that does not have the screen. And we've got a short IPX to SMA cable, and then we've got that little 900 megahertz bandpass filter that I showed in my last video. I'm going to try this out. I was reading the Amazon reviews on it, and someone said they measured it with their nano VNA, and it showed about 1.6 dBi loss on this particular filter. So I'd be cutting out, about 25–30% of my power with this. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, this battery pack is the Voltaic V75, pretty popular in the mesh community. Why am I using a USB battery pack? Well, this one you can actually plug directly into a solar panel. So this little white cable here that comes out of the solar panel, I can plug that directly into the USB battery pack and power the Heltec V4 with a USB cable. Now I've got ferrites on all of these cables, the solar panel cable coming in and then the cables coming out. I put a bunch of those little snap-on ferrites to hopefully mitigate some of the noise issues. I've also got some weatherproof cable entrance little locks right here, not sure what you call them, but just sort of where you can slide the cable through and tighten it up, and it sort of cinches it down. Makes it sort of weatherproof. Now I did drill some weep holes in the bottom of this. Very, very, very tiny, just 3 of them, just in case any moisture does get in there, it can seep out from those holes. Now what do we have over here? This is a LoRa APRS iGate. This operates off of 433 megahertz. I have no idea how this is going to perform, but I wanted to at least try it. Some folks said I won't have any issues because they're not a harmonic of each other, and they're low power enough. However, I don't know if when one transmits, if it's going to like desense the other board. I have no clue. So I'm going to start out with just the mesh board. I'm going to power this up, make sure it's working, transmitting okay, no errors, things like that, before I fire up the LoRa APRS. Now the antennas are going to be separated by this like 3–4 foot piece of coax that you see here. This will go to my Diamond X, I can't remember what it, X30 or X50 antenna that's up on top of the roof, and that antenna is about 4 or 5 feet away from the mesh node. I've nicknamed my mesh node the Van Gogh node, if you were wondering about this little sticker over here. Why? Because sometimes it can hear and sometimes it can't. All right, let's get this baby up on the J-pole and get ourselves back on the mesh network. Okay, so I put the solar node on top of my house, and I probably should have given it a little bit longer, but I immediately started to see the same trend that I was seeing for like the past several weeks, and that is a really high noise floor and a lot of packet errors, which kind of surprised me. I don't know why I thought my noise floor was going to drop to some extent. I mean, the filter is not going to drop the noise floor. I thought that I was having some issues with the solar charge controller on my peak mesh unit, so that cancels out that idea. So what I'm going to do, again, the Heltec V4s are really noisy. I don't know what it is. I think it has something to do with the LNA that's inside of them. There may be a way to adjust that. I'm not sure. Haven't looked into that yet. I'm going to go back to using a RAK4631. 3D printed this little board here, which will allow me to mount it in that box that I got up there, sort of at the same level as the antenna connector. That way you're not bending these little coax stubs any, because you bend these at all, and again, it'll want to pop off this little IPX connector, which is another reason why I've got a little zip tie right there, you know, trying to prevent that little connector from coming off. So yeah, I'm hoping, well, again, I already flashed this one with MeshCore as a repeater, and immediately I noticed, like right here inside of my shack, the noise floor on this was like so much lower than the Heltec just immediately out of the gate. So I don't know if I'll have the same result whenever I put it up on top of my roof. Let's go get this thing deployed. We're gonna do some night ops tonight, but we're gonna go up there and swap out the Heltec V4 that's on the solar node right now for, again, the RAK4630, and see if we have the same kind of noise floor and if we're experiencing the same kind of errors with this board.